inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Good morning, everyone. This is a special interview section on the crisis rocking the major opposition party in Nigeria, the People's Democratic Party. And of course, to help us provide insights into the crisis is the chieftain of the party from Kogi State, USMAN AUSTIN OKAI. Mr. USMAN AUSTIN OKAI, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you for creating time to join us at the Leadership Podcast Studio.
No problem.
All right, Usman, last week, the crisis in your party became manifest. And today, if you can check the front pages of the newspapers, it's the story about the PDP that dominated on Tuesday morning. Now, the same last week, when this crisis started, or when it became manifest, the National Publicity Secretary of your party, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, issued a statement telling Nigerians that the party has activated a conflict resolution mechanism to solve the problem. So can you bring us up to speed as to the workability otherwise of this crisis resolution mechanism?
Yeah, yesterday, our governors held the very detailed and expanded meetings in the Uyo House in Abuja here, and which almost all the governors of the People's Democratic Party were in attendance. And I think the bill, after that, there was a NEC meeting too over the night. There had been several meetings, including the BOT meeting. And I'm sure, just as you know, the party always have a strong mechanism of resolving its own problem, no matter what it takes. So it's not a crisis per se. There's nothing like a factional problem here. What is happening is just a matter of the call for the resignation of the national chairman before the convention to enable us get a credible team that to conduct a very acceptable, formidable, fair and transparent national convention. So it will be resolved. It's a matter of give and take, and that is politics for you. Thank you.
All right, you say this is not a crisis, it's just maybe you want to say family fight.
It is,
Well,
it is an in-house fight.
7 members of the National Working Committee of the PDP are actually calling for the resignation of the national chairman, Prince Uche Secondus. And you say this is not a crisis.
No, what is wrong in calling for the resignation of a person that they think is not doing well? You are aware that the NWC under the leadership of Prince Uche Secondus is unable to resolve so many internal crises of a party. And as a media man, you can't deny the fact that Nigerians are also lamenting that the PDP is not living up to expectation as a leading opposition party. We have a year to election. We can't even conduct a free and fair, transparent primary in Anambra under Prince Uche Secondus. So we can't approach the general election with this man. And it's not only Uche Secondus. The demand for resignation is for all of them to leave. I don't know you get it now. So we shouldn't narrow it down to Prince Uche Secondus alone. But his name rings the bell because he is the chairman of the party, the national chairman, just as they say it goes, he who wear the crown. So that is the situation. The blame is not only for the Prince Uche Secondus, but those who think Prince Uche Secondus are to be blamed. You can see so many of them resign last week. And you see the outburst of the national youth leader as a professional. So that is the situation. So it's not a crisis per se. It is a way of doing things professional in a family way. Calling for his resignation, it is a good thing and it is democratic. Nothing bad about it. Thank you.
But your party, which is in opposition, should be seen showing example of internal democracy. If you say it is not a crisis, why would you want to stampede your national chairman out of office when you have a convention approaching in December? Why would you want to stampede him out of office? Is that democratic?
That is the question so many people are asking. But if the national chairman lacks the credibility to conduct free and fair national convention, you know how important it is. You know how important it is. Why should we gamble it? You are aware of it, what happened in those states, in those states when we conducted the primary election? Agbola left the party after the primary election because the party could not activate the internal mechanism machineries to resolve. So the issue is that we can't gamble it unless otherwise it's giving us assurance that you conduct free, fair, transparent national convention. If not, he has to leave. Let an independent hands lead us into the national convention. You are aware he's also trying to come back for second term. Therefore, he's an interested party. Can you be a judge of your own case? You can't. He has started campaigning for second term, despite not being able to live up to expectation. So if he's an interested party and he's being called to resign before the coming election, what is wrong with that? I think that is part of deepening democracy, to ensure free and fair. He can't be an interested party and set up a committee that will not dance to his own tune. You can see the situation. So PDP should be encouraged for calling for demanding the resignation of the national chairman. And that is how a good democracy is supposed to be. We should be appreciated for summoning courage and stand tall to ensure we have a credible national convention.
Well, I think there are laid down procedures in your party's constitution as to the election and removal of a national officer of your party.
That
is
why
there
we are begging.
Any provision like stand bidding and a national officer out of office?
That's why we give him the options of resignation. we are an advisor here. So far, so bad. You have given your best to the party, but it's not enough. This is not about PDP. This is about the sovereignty of Nigeria. This is about Nigeria. He is an interested party. Two things I
Are you not trusting your members to choose from their free will a new national chairman?
How do you choose a free will when he decides who should vote, who shouldn't vote, when he decides the convention committee, who should be a member of committee or not? And apart from that, I said something earlier that he was unable to conduct free and fair primary in Anambra State. One state primary. He couldn't conduct it. It was 3 days ago that the governors met and spoke to Kushe Kudefe and other stakeholders on the need for everybody to share their sword. The National Working Committee of the party, under Prince Sekuru, refused to set up a reconciliation committee after the primary election. How do you trust this man to carry out a credible, free, and fair national convention as enormous as it is?
Okay, so let me still stick with the same line of thought. Now, most of you rooting for the removal of Prince Uche Secondos from office as national chairman of the party. There is a school of thought that believes that most of you have been bankrolled by a governor of the party to see to the removal of Uche Secondos. Is this true, or this is a reflection of the majority members of the PDP?
Because of the corrupt nature of those leaders there. And that's why I've never met Wike before. I've never met.
I didn't mention Governor Wike. I
Hold
just said
on.
the governor.
I'm a media person and I'm aware I'm a party person. I read. I've heard Uche Sekudu's media aide talking. We have heard them say so many things in various WhatsApp groups. If this is not about, is there a crisis in a party or not? Are people massively decapping or not? At this level, what is expected is sacrifice. It's not about just this. Okay, who backrolled him? How did he emerge as a national chairman? I blame Wike for what we are doing today. Wike too is not excluded from the crisis. He brought him through what he called the unity list. Him, Governor Fayose and Co. brought him Uche Sekudus. Before the convention of 2017, we were looking at the like of Jimmy Agbaje, Chief Body George, or Professor Deniro to take over the leadership of the party. Knowing fully that Uche Sekudu was part and parcel of Modu Sharif, the former disaster national chairman that we removed. I was among people that led the protest for the removal of what is the name? Modu Sharif. Google it, PDP youth leader, National Youth Frontier called for the removal of Modu Sharif. It's on internet, put it in a Google. It was reported. I was among people that led the protest. But today I'm not part of people that are leading protests because I think it is a minor issue. He has failed. You are aware. You look at the body language. He's not resigning. You don't run a party as a private affair. The call for this resignation came as a result of we have over 5 deputy executive of member of NWC resigned. You are aware of it, and they accused him of
some of them have also withdrew their letters of resignation.
That is part of the ongoing dialogue. That is part of internal mechanism that
championed by Uche Secondus.
Not Uche Secondus. Intervention by the people like which one is Uche? Intervention like people like Saraki and co, the BOT members and others. Not Uche Secondus. Uche Secondus is an interested party here. People are resigning because of him. How can he champion a reconciliation mechanism?
But okay, will you want to tell Nigerians, apart from Prince Uche Secondus, who you are calling for his resignation for certain things you just outlined as deficiencies on his part, will you also want
in other people that have resigned that to enter them back into the party?
Okay. Will you also want to tell us whether anything is wrong?
We are being back. Anything wrong where? Can you repeat the question? Network, sorry.
Oh, all right. Apart from Prince Uche Secondus that you are calling for his resignation, owing to some deficiencies you just outlined on this program, will you also want to tell Nigerians whether anything is wrong with your party beyond Uche Secondus? Is there anything wrong with the PDP as a major opposition party in Nigeria as we speak?
Nigerians are complaining that we are not living up to the expectation. They are not seeing us as a party that is on a standby to Muhammad Buhari has failed in all ramifications. Galloping economy, inflation, insecurity, people can no longer travel on the road. Students are being kidnapped every day. The travelers are being kidnapped every day. The bandit kidnapping has become a professional business, aided by so many people we cannot mention on the so this thing now, Nigerians are tired. The dollar has taken over. The naira is crumbling. It's losing its value. Then we can't continue like this. You are aware of as a result of the fact that the President Muhammad Buhari-led government has failed. And the PDP is not being seen as an option. For that, we need to purge ourselves. We need to purge the party. We need to purify the party, sanitize the environment, and ensure we get in the NWC that will give the People Democratic Party a credibility, a credentials to be seen as acceptable by Nigeria ahead of 2023. So it's not about Uche Secondus alone. He's trying his best. I must commend him. He has done his best, but his best is not good enough. So when you have given out your best and it's not good enough, it's not time for you to excuse the brother. He has been there, right from the National Organizing Secretary to the Deputy National Chairman, Deputy National Chairman to Acting National Chairman, Acting National Chairman to Deputy National Chairman, Deputy National Chairman to National Chairman now. And there has been issues of corruption in the party. There have been issues of lack of internal democracy in the party. And this man has been there. So asking him to leave now, it is order. It's not about me working for Wike. Wike is part of the problem because he brought him in what they call unity list. And just as I said earlier, before the convention of 2017, we're looking at the like of Professor Deniro, Chief Bode George, or what Jimmy Agbaje. These are the men, and Alero Dokwesi. These are the men that were leading because he, Uche Secondus, was part and parcel of Modu Sharif disaster. But Wike, being powerful as he is, influenced Uche Secondus. And I think he's trying to correct his mistake. So nobody should see us that we are not his puppet. We are not. I'm a stakeholder of this party, a leading voice in Kogi State. I can't be
you. So no one is banking.
I'm an authority. I'm being
all right, Austin Okai, we need to go on a short break. When we come back, we take the discussion to another level. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Austin, before we went on break, I was talking about describing PDP and APC, your party, as the same side of a coin. And so I want to ask, do you believe in that assertion by Professor Taiwo Jega that PDP and APC are the same?
How is it different? Taiwo Jega is trying to, he was not part of people that brought in APC together. He brought in APC to power in his election that he conducted. So he can't just come up here and begin to forget about Taiwo. I don't think Nigerians on the street can testify the fact Let me just give you a very simple example. When we were in power, FCT here, they always buy buses for commuters. Today, as I'm talking to you, they don't have any public bus available working except the one that PDP left. That is just simple. What of the economy? Can you compare the dollar rate, exchange rate to Naira today? Can you? You are aware of what the former APC stakeholders, Baraje from Kwara State, said, that the machinery they imported into the country to help them win the election are now bad it. You are aware. That shows that the pre-general election crisis that Nigerians suffered were artificial, created by some people who want to take political advantage of it. And now we are at the receiving end. The bandits in Kaduna, the bandits in Zamfara, the bandits in Sokoto, are everywhere you are seeing them operating today, do not know either PDP or APC. So the idea of comparing Nigerians PDP to APC is something that is unheard of. We are talking of a structured political party who has kept democracy together for over 60 years. And now, within the 6 years of APC, they gave birth to Kanu Namani Kanu of IPOM. They gave birth to Sode Boho of Odua Nation. All this thing is coming because the party lack what it takes to unite the country. Where they appoint only people from the north. And that has made the other region to think that they are being sidelined. So this is not the PDP miracle that kept the country together cannot be compared to what we are having today in the name of change dole. So whoever is comparing the two sides, that shows the person has not wake up to reality. You can say that again. And ask Nigerians on the street, they will tell you that they were misled, they were deceived by this current leadership of APC into power. And today they are now regretting. So Atadu Jega that is saying that is also a candidate. You are aware he's forming as is a member of a political party. So perhaps he's trying to market his own political party by going after PDP. So I think he should go and get the ideology of what to say, having conducted the one of election that brought him Buhari into power. Do you understand? And he's now going around comparing PDP to APC. We welcome him to the politics. He has retired. Instead of him to go back to the class, he's coming back to the election, to politics, and he's learning how to go about it. That is why he's comparing us. Let him market his own political party and his presidential ambition. So we see him as one of the a politician. So nothing strange about that. Thank you.
So finally, Austin, the BOT of your party has set up a committee to look into the crisis rocking the party, and the committee is expected to actually turn in a report today, Tuesday. So your camp that is rooting for the removal of secondos, are you ready to abide by any decision taken by this committee?
Why would they
will you be ready to abide by it?
Who is the youth in that committee? Why will you plan my own future without me being there? Do we have representatives? Let me use this opportunity to advise BOT. We, the youth, have 80% voting strength in this country. And the idea of them thinking of planning our future for us without us having a say is unacceptable. But we'll give them the benefit of that by listening to what they have to say. As I told you, the party has a way of resolving its own problem amicably. And that is what we are doing. They are our father, they are our leader. Some of them are founding founder of a party. They have the wisdom, they have experience, but I advise that they should carry youth along whenever they are setting up anything, because we are the one leading the protest, not them. So when they are coming to resolve the problem, we should have a say.
And on this note, we've come to the end of this special interview on the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Parties. Many thanks to Austin Okai. Austin Usman Okai is the chieftain of the PDP from Kogi State. And to you viewers out there, keep a day with us another day for another edition of this special interview. Bye-bye for now.